Okay, folks, I'm at now the 26th new HA area, and I just moved here last night, and I've been extremely targeted. Hold on. I've been extremely targeted to the abdomen, head, face, legs, stomach, ever since I got here last night. So I'm going to show you where this area is at. There's a big, gigantic fallen tree right here, okay? And I'm only going to spend a few minutes on this particular video. Because I want to see if this video will capture more evidence of electromagnetic waves interfacing with me while I'm inside my tent. Now, one of the main reasons why the two massive evidence videos have been captured already, let me set this phone up right here. One of the main reasons why the two indisputable evidence videos have captured it was because these white, mostly blue and white waves were caught coming in the tent and reflecting off the walls and the structure of the tent. And as you can see, the walls and the structure of the fucking tent, okay, is, alright, now hold on. You can see it's camouflage, okay? And when you see the videos, you'll understand what I mean concerning how it was caught and what it looks like. So, if you were, because this crime of gang stalking intentionally made me homeless. So just bear with me. Alright, hold on a second. So just bear with me concerning these particular exposures. A little while ago, I was running very low on. In fact, I ran completely out of video time on a video card that was already in the phone. And this is very dangerous when you're a gang stalking victim, because these little demonic rats are widely reported all over the internet to stage events towards victims. Okay, at least concerning at least when the victim is out and about in the community, anywhere. Okay, and even many gang stalking victims like Karen Melton Stewart have literally been attacked exiting their homes. And this crime has literally went back to staging assault and staged physical interactions between me and social deviants, people who are told to either purposely act crazy or mentally ill, or people who are, and I suspect at times even people who are, or probably have something on their record, those items on their record being not purposely criminally falsified, but actually reflecting a true mental illness. Now, these are the types of things gang stalking does. It's widely reported on the internet that these satanic rats who are hosting this crime nationwide and in California, it's widely reported that they do stage physical interactions between the victim and the victim's property, using anybody of any age, any type of person. But it's also widely reported that they love using thugs, punks, social deviants, and even mentally ill people. Hold on one second. Okay. So one of the ways that I respond to this crime, everything I fucking do is legal. Every fucking thing I do is legal. Okay? So consider this. Me being a gang stalking victim, I developed my own methods and strategies concerning how I respond to this crime by and through, but not limited to, creating Twitter predictions on Twitter. Once you create a tweet, it isolates that tweet prediction, the statements in it, by electronic time and date stamp. I also make predictions in video files, audio files from my tape recorder, which is in the record mode right now, recording my statements. Okay. And so if these perpetrators do anything after it's predicted, even though now, and for at least the last 2.5 years, I've got thousands of audio files showing me state, and hundreds and hundreds of tweets openly showing me state that from now on, all gang stalking predictions and statements are an extreme emergency effect permanently, including whether I make a tweet prediction or not, or even make a verbal prediction in my tape recorder. And the reason why I went as far as doing that was because there are certain dates, not often at all, very rare, where I don't have time to make a prediction tweet in the morning, and or the perpetrators are jamming my phone, so I can't post a tweet, and or an event might happen, and the tape recorder has not reflected a verbal prediction yet. So, which is why I started, and plus I got sick of fucking doing the same thing every day concerning making the same statements in my tape recorder, because I have literally had to make fucking verbal statements in way over 10,000 audio files since 2011, easily. I got tired of fucking talking about this shit every day because it's bad enough I gotta fucking endure it. Okay? So what I started doing about 2.5 years ago at least is I started saying from now on all gang stalk predictions and statements are an extreme emergency effect, which additionally means that if these satanic rats do anything that's ever been discussed by me on any online platform, on any electronic medium recording device, if they fucking do anything that's ever been discussed and or predicted, it will continue to assist in proving that what I'm enduring is being staged and intentionally affected upon me and my property and my finances. Because, think about it, if you friggin' predict 15 assaults, 1 arrest, 2 tickets, and over 8,900 audio files of identical verbal harassment being caught, staged harassment being caught, okay, staged, I have literally predicted on over 8,900 audio files that identical verbal harassment would be caught on my tape recorder and the microcards that go in them on over 8,900 audio files, okay, before I reached the environment that the harassment was then caught in. Tape recorders are run by date and time. So if I make as an example, fast example, if I make a verbal prediction in my tape recorder, okay, on June 1st, 2022, let's see if anybody is propped up around me to repeat gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, oh my god, suck dick, gang stalk, oh my god, she sounds fucked up, gang stalk, oh my god, is she scared, and other short phrases and statements that they're saying. At a wooded area, I make those type of verbal predictions in a tape recorder at 9 a.m. on June 1st, 2022, and then leave the wooded area and go along my routes, and it's caught at more than one place, happening directly around me, including different people saying each word, yet each word is said back to back. Okay, do you really believe that's an accident? Because, one, the technique alone being done is extremely unique, specific, and totally peculiar. It's not something that happens in everyday, normal social settings when the crime ain't going on. Okay? So, this is only a very small amount of my evidence and my descriptions of what applied techniques I use in order to prove this crime. Okay, it's happening and has always been happening. Email files showing me talk about this shit, including going all the way back to 2005 and 6 in multiple different states: Connecticut, Tennessee, Michigan, San Diego in 2006, and so on. Except in 2006, I didn't know what was happening to me. All emails and everything made in tape recorders before June 9, 2009 never show me talk about gang stalking, because I did not know the crime I was enduring, okay, against every aspect of my life, and the community-based harassment was connected to a crime that's called gang stalking. But after June 9, 2000, those emails do show me specifically detailing, descriptively, specifically detailing what I was enduring, okay, for the most part. And those descriptions are all over the internet to be crimes widely exposed to be done through gang stalking. So think about that as well, because I got thousands of fucking emails that don't show me mentioning organized stalking, gang stalking, contract stalking, or anything before June 9, 2009. Yet those emails show me describing my experiences. Those described experiences are identical to what's online to be techniques employed in gang stalking crimes. So I wanted to throw that information out there so that my viewers can know, and even though what I'm experiencing is extremely unique, it's very specific and exacting, and it's very peculiar. These are some of the widely reported methods of gang stalking. The sensitization method of gang stalking, and that includes repeated threats, okay, including them being threats and other statements that are identical. you know what they're literally doing? They're literally propping up assholes that are either wearing something and or carrying something that's got black and white on it, or any other type of color coding that has been discussed in massive amounts of audio files. They're literally propping up these assholes to fucking approach me and ask me if I got a light. And when I say no, they'll either constantly repeat the question and or repeat it a few times and then go off on me. Okay? That's already been done twice just in the past fucking week. Today's date is the 12th of August. They staged an assault at Phil's on 8/7/2022 and an event yesterday at a wooded area on 8/11/2022. Both assailants were black, both were the same height, both were wearing black and white shoes, and both had a backpack that had black and white on the back of it. Okay? While both started the incidences by doing what? Asking me if I got a light. Okay? So what gang stalking does is that it attaches a specific type of sound, word, phrase, short statement, okay, to an act, including also to color coding. So then when the brain identifies these identical things, that's their way to convey to the victim that this is a staged event perpetrated through gang stalking crimes. Okay? So, because think about it. Think about what I'm saying. Do you really think that it's normal, or do you really think it's a coincidence that two separate events happened within a very 4 or 5 day time period? Okay, where the perpetrators were wearing black and white, carrying an identical item of a backpack that also had black and white on the back of it, with black and white shoes, asking me the same question repeatedly. One of them assaulted me because I said no, I didn't have a light. Okay? So do you really believe that's an accident? At two different areas. Now, these same two different areas have been repeatedly caught showing people being propped up on and around the property, repeating gang stalk. Oh my God, suck dick. That was Phil's Coffee Shop in the current wooded area I'm at now, and other wooded areas on the same property since 2012. So do you really believe this is an accident? Anybody with 2 fucking brain cells would say there's no way at all that this is an accident. Ooh. Okay. Plus, the asshole yesterday tried to accuse me of doing something that I absolutely was not doing at all, because these wild, vile animals that are used, they're told what to say by the perpetrators who use them, because those people know that you are wearing a recording tape recorder. So if they accuse you of something while your tape recorder is in the record mode, they know that an audio tape recorder cannot visually record anything that person is saying and accusing you of visually. They know a tape recorder's not got the capacity to record things visually. So how are you going to prove that you're not involved in any behavior related to the description of what he's accusing you of? Okay? But they know that the tape recorder will record his statement saying it. So let me just make this fast statement real fast. I got 2 3.5 inch. I got 1 3.5 inch knife and one knife that's less than probably 1.5 inches. Both of those knives have always been taped. One is taped to my duffel bag so that it cannot be grabbed by somebody else or me before, during, and after a staged event. The only way that it can be grabbed by me or anybody else is you would have to literally bend over, okay, and go into the area where it's at and fucking untape it, because it's literally clipped to and taped to the duffel bag itself. So that would take me at least a good 30 to 45 seconds to untape it just to get to it. And then the one that's attached to my belt is taped with electrical tape around it, so it can't even be grabbed. You'd have to take the belt off and massively unwind the tape just to get to the handle. Now, I did this because I could see what they were doing back in 2000. I seen what they were doing in Michigan related to them trying to provoke me to engage in physical violence, like fists and stuff. And I've seen the hundreds and hundreds of posts over the years concerning what's reported that one of the main things that this crime is after is provoking the victim to act violent, especially if the victim has got any type of weapon. Okay? Because then that's how they set you fucking up. Okay? So if they want to try and set you up and claim that you're a threat to yourself or others, then they gotta fucking provoke you to take out something you're carrying. Well, Now, there's many different ways that I can prove that these psycho bastards were originally aware that I had these legal knives on me to begin with. There's many ways I can prove that they were aware that I had them in order to build schemes around that bullshit. So, I can indisputably fucking prove that these knives have been always taped, one to my duffel bag and one to the belt loop. I can indisputably prove that they've always been taped there for at least the last 3.5 years. Indisputably prove it. I got audio files showing me stated. I've even made one or YouTube videos showing it. In fact, let me show you right now. Now, the one that's attached to my belt is in this bag, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far to get that out. But the other one is taped to the edge of this duffel bag. Okay, right here. I don't know how well you can see it. And the clip part of it extends out from a hole, and then on the inside of it, it's fucking taped with tape, so you can't grab the clip. Okay, you can't grab this off because it's taped with duct tape. Okay, around the bottom of the clip that goes through the hole. So there's no way you can take it. Okay? There's no way you can tape it. Well, the same thing goes to the one. I created this little cardboard pouch, attached it to my belt, okay? And then slid the other one in that little pocket thing I created through a piece of cardboard, and then taped the end of it. So I can't even grab it, and no one else can grab it either. Now, I did this because I've seen massive posts over the years showing gang stalking victims state these psycho maggots concerning the program itself is purposely trying to provoke victims into violence and to provoke them to and to accuse them of things that they're not doing. Okay? So, if any little satanic bitch on any and all dates, because you need to remember, when gang stalking stages events, they'll stage the witnesses. So if anybody ever tries to fucking accuse me of pulling out any type of weapon, anything, they're fucking lying through their teeth. Okay? Through their teeth. Bold-faced, complete fucking lies, and that fucking means anywhere. Including before this video is uploaded. Because you just would not believe what these sick bitch animals are fucking doing concerning different techniques that they're applying to purposely, intentionally sabotage my schedule daily. They fucking kept me up last night till 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to say fucking how. Because I'm not going to be showcasing any physical evidence in this video today. Because it would be interrupting what I'm trying to get done while I'm talking to you. I'm not going to be showcasing any physical evidence today that would back up my statements concerning things I'm enduring through gang stalking technology. That's affecting my health, my ability to sleep, okay? And then, which then causes me to oversleep, which then affects my next day's schedule. Because when I fucking get up in the morning, I got to get up and pack up all my fucking shit and hide it. And while I'm doing this, I'm literally being targeted. Okay, I've been massively, heavily targeted to a specific area of my body that causes non-stop, continuous extreme pain. The lower left abdomen. Okay. Now, the two videos that I have captured on August 9th, 2022 and the August 11th, 2022 indisputably proves that this technology is interfacing with me. Okay. And other areas, in more than one area too. It's not just one or two areas, in more than one area. Now, before those indisputable evidences were captured on video, I got thousands of audio files stating that I'm being hit with that type of weaponry, okay, to specific areas of the body. Now, you ask yourself, do you honestly think, okay, do you really believe that it's possible for a gang stalking victim to openly state in thousands of audio files that I'm being hit with a specific type of fucking technology, okay? Alright, that's widely reported to be all over the internet to be specific type of technologies that are, hold on one second, that are widely reported by tens of thousands of victims, okay, to be the type of technologies that victims are being fucking hit with, okay, and then catch it after the fact. Because think about what I'm saying. It's one thing when the body produces physical effects and manifestations of being attacked. That's evidence. But when you fucking catch the weaponry live in videos, okay? When you catch it being fucking used on video, that indisputably shows what it is and the fact that it's being used on you, there's no way at all that anybody can say that you weren't being hit on these prior dates when you were fucking talking about it in thousands of audio files and in many videos. There's no fucking way. Because think about what I'm saying. That would be like me saying, okay, on June 1st, 2022, that they're propping up assholes to get around me to repeat gang stalk, oh my god, and suck dick, and then me catching it 5 years later on audio file. Buying through total complete fucking strangers. Because you gotta remember, what's used in gang stalking crimes concerning their techniques and their resources is extremely unique. No other crime that's not connected to gang stalking perpetrates the techniques that they do and the resources they got. Okay, so I decided to make this fucking video, okay, in case more additional evidence is probably not going to be caught, but in case more additional evidence can be caught on this one, and so I could make the fucking statements that I'm making, okay, hold on, and so I could make the type of fucking statements that I'm making, okay, in order to isolate them in date and time. Now, let me make one more statement. I've also got many audio files, I'm not going to say how many, even guesstimating how many, showing me state that there's an extreme likelihood that these satanic rats are propping up additional in-between technology on properties that I go to, so that I can be hit from, let's say, ground level up to at least the chest, right? Alright? And then what I do a lot of times, like what I'm doing right now with this phone being attached to the top of my tent, this has only been done maybe 4 times since 2014. At least 2 of those times was dedicated to me just doing it to try and watch a video while laying down. Okay? I know, hold on. Okay? Now, the reason why I bring that up is because well, usually 99.999% of the time, every time I fucking made a video, even fucking Periscope videos from years back, a lot of times what I'll do when I make a video is they end up being audio videos, where I just set the fucking phone down on my backpack, which is the height of it is no more than maybe a little under a foot, maybe a little over a foot. And then a lot of times I'll put shorts and some shirts on top of it, so when I lay down at night I can rest the phone on it in order to watch a video as the phone is propped up in the landscape position. Okay? But most of the time when I make it, I'd say 99.999% of the time when I fucking go to make a video, the phone is resting on top of the duffel bag, and maybe on top of a shirt or two that's on top of the duffel bag. Okay? Now, the reason why this is important is because the duffel bag is less than or a teeny bit over a foot in height once it's set on the ground. You then put a couple t-shirts and maybe even a pair of shorts on top of it, then that makes it probably no more than 2.5 feet concerning height from ground up. So then, if you fucking bring up your phone and you bring up your video app and you start making a video while that phone is resting on these things that I just described, then that means the phone is no more than 3 feet off the ground from ground up. Now, why is this important? Because when I was going through one of the microcards earlier that I just took out of this phone so I could put this one in, I was trying to look for a video file that I could erase, so I could free up some memory on that particular microcard. So when I go about my day today, I'd have some free video recording time available to me, because they're going back to propping up staged assholes along my routes, and including one yesterday at Wooded area. Okay, by the way, all that was fucking predicted before it started again in my tape recorder, and probably even in a video or two. Now, with this being said, consider this. It's widely reported in many online posts. Hold on. It's widely reported, including in many online posts, that, in fact, one I just recently read here just in the past 7 days. No, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not lying at all. It was one of Romola D, Everyday Concerned Citizen blogs. And in that post, there was statements from an interview a person gave who used to work within intelligence agencies who used to do these types of crimes with other individuals. And one of the things that person stated, I sent that fucking blog to my email account. Okay? Now, one of the things that this person stated that they were doing to victims, okay, which the vast majority of all victims are completely innocent people, just average, everyday people. And then the other ones that they deem as being guilty appear to be just people that might be connected to groups that they're hired to fucking target. Or they're ordered to target. Right? So one of the things that he said is that what they'll do is they'll set up 3 radar devices directly around the vicinity of where a person stays at. Okay? So, and then other technology that's reported that these sick fucks will prop up around victims' homes are antennas, emitters, transducers, even as far as going to prop up Wi-Fi boxes. Right? Wait, hold on. So, I got hundreds and hundreds of audio files showing me state, and videos showing me state, that I'm being hit from the ground up. Okay? So, you imagine you sitting down on the ground. Okay? Anywhere, just sit down on the ground. You sit down on the ground, and then you look at the height from the bottom of your butt to the top of your fucking head. So we're talking about maybe 4 feet, maybe 4.5, all depending on how tall you are, right? So if you're sitting on the ground, and between the edge of the bottom of the butt that's on the ground to the top of the head, we're looking at the very most 4.5 feet, right? So imagine you sitting down into a ravine that's at least probably 150 feet down from the fucking road. How do you think they could target my fucking abdomen? Okay, from behind my abdomen, or in front of my abdomen, or on the side of my abdomen, while I'm down in a ravine from an elevated position? Because that beam would have to fucking go down into the ravine and then become... So that would be a beam going down on an angle, and then all of a sudden becoming a straight horizontal line in order to target you at the lower abdomen and the waist and the mid-stomach section area, and even the breast and even the head. The only way that can be done is through using reflective mirrors or a prism. Now, do you really think they're going through all that fucking work, especially since we're dealing with the crime that's widely reported, to put... okay, in between technology between them and the victim, around the victim's physical vicinity? Now, the reason why this is important is because when I've made videos, I'd say a great vast majority of the videos that I make, a lot of them end up being just audio videos, where I fucking bring up the video app, I press record button, and then I set the fucking phone on my backpack. I'm sorry, on my duffel bag. Okay? So, a lot of times, the lens of the phone will end up just videotaping, okay, the lens that's on the back of the phone will end up just videotaping whatever is on top of the back of the duffel bag, or the top of the duffel bag itself. So, it will just appear black or blue. Because I usually put a blue sweatshirt, parka on top of the back of the duffel bag, or the top of the duffel, and on other videos, the top of the duffel bag is black. So, that's all you end up seeing. But on a few occasions, since I put shirts on top of the duffel bag, and sometimes those shirts have contours when I rest the phone up on the shirts, sometimes the lens ends up still being partially free from any visual obstruction. So let me show you an example here. Do you see this duffel bag? Here's the duffel bag I'm referring to. So if you got a shirt on it, and you lay it down like this, well, sometimes the whole lens isn't being covered up on like it would be on days when you pick up the phone and just rest it down on the shirt. Now you're just seeing black. So sometimes when I make a video, I just hit the record button and set it down like that. So then therefore you're seeing the lens partially exposed. Therefore, it's picking up stuff in the background. Now, do you see, like right now, I'm waving my hand right at the top of the phone. So it's picking up that shadow, okay? Other times it would be rested like this, okay? To where the lens is partially exposed, and so therefore you're seeing the shadow of my hand that's moving back and forth in front of the phone. Now, where the lens is at, like right now, but in front of the phone. So it's still picking up the shadow going by, okay? Now, why is this important? Because when that fucking phone is on, let me put it back up where I had it at, because if they're going to hit me again, I want to see if it can be caught again. And you wouldn't believe the evidence I'm referring to. Okay. So, with what I just showed you concerning how the lens is partially not covered up, it being on top of the shirts that are on top of the duffel bag, and let me show you how the height of this duffel bag. It's less than it's either just a little bit over a foot or whatever. Then when you put a couple extra shirts on it, that probably makes it maybe 2 feet, maybe a little under, right? Right? So that means it's then 2 feet at the most off the ground. Okay? Maybe sometimes it might be a little bit more if I got additional shirts or a pair of shorts there, right? So with that being said, keep that visual, what you just visually seen in your mind as you continue to hear these follow-up statements. So, many times the lens has been partially exposed. Now, as a result of the lens being partially exposed, while the phone is at the height from the ground as it rests on the duffel bag, the phone appears to have picked up, the lens has partially picked up blue waves oscillating in and out of the tent in the area of the lens that was not covered, where the lens was not interfacing with the shirt, where there was that open gap that I just showed you. Remember when I was waving my hand back and forth? Now it shows a blue electromagnetic waves going right by the phone and being captured on that part of the lens that was not blocked. But the waves are coming in from a horizontal position. Okay? So that means then it's coming from not too far off the ground. Now, do you really believe that anybody that is shooting a electromagnetic weapon, beam, or wave at you from an elevated position is then going to come down on the property? Because if they were elevated, that would mean that they would be above the surface. See, if I'm in a ravine that's over 100, and then if I'm like, let's say, 400 feet off a sidewalk, and the distance between the sidewalk, and then when you go off the sidewalk and you go off the slope towards down into the ravine, we got a massive taper offing going on. Okay, it's like this. Okay, and then when you get down at the end of the friggin' hands, when you get down at the end of the friggin' hands, and then it comes even ground, you're still off that ravine. You still got that slope, and at the top of the slope is the sidewalk. So, and then any condos in the area, like across the street, or any vehicles that might be propped up off the road, okay, they would still have to project it down, okay, down from an elevated position. So if it's down from an elevated position, how then does the beam become horizontal once it gets down to the level ground of where I'm at, down in the ravine? A beam is not going to go straight down and then go horizontal. That means something's got to be on the fucking property. That's physics. That's fucking physics. Okay? So the evidence videos that I have captured from the electromagnetic waves, and where do you see those? One video is already in the YouTube account that was uploaded on August 10th, 2022. It's the only video that was uploaded on August 10th. So bring that video up. And I've only watched the video from 0 minutes to 4 minutes into it. It's a 55-minute long video, so there's probably more additional massive evidence in that video, very probable. But what you want to do is when you bring the video up that was uploaded on August 10th, 2022, the only video uploaded on that date in this account, you want to immediately scroll and fast forward to 2 minutes and 22 seconds and watch the top of the tent, which would be the areas you're seeing right up in here, okay? The top of the tent and the side of the walls. Watch for the blue waves coming in and out. And when you're watching it on your phone, if you feel inclined, which I strongly suggest you do, you're going to have to take a lot of them, non-stop consecutive snap screenshots. And then you're going to literally see how these waves, when they come in contact with the tent, split off into like lightning strikes that you would see when you see lightning strike. Sometimes you'll see one lightning bolt, and then when it pops with a thunderclap, then the lightning bolt will spread out into like little branches of electricity. That's exactly what it looks like, except it's blue and white. Now you're indisputably going to witness it, indisputably. Well, the beams that were seen on at least one video, when I was looking through my videos to see if I could erase a video file in order to free up memory, before I just said fuck it and put this memory card in, which I didn't remember that I even had until over like 40 minutes later. I had a video card and a spy camera I got and I forgot all about it. So one of the videos that I brought up, and I think it's from August 8th, showed the phone laying on the duffel bag with part of the lens still capturing the environment, but only the environment as it's facing down, like in the way that I showed you when I was taking the hand back and forth, okay? And you seen the shadow of my hand going back and forth. Well, it captured these blue type waves, but they're coming from a horizontal position. I was down in a ravine when I made the video, at a spot less than 100 feet away. Okay? So the only way that can happen is that something is projecting these electromagnetic waves. That's either something from somebody being on the property and bending over, or some device being on the property. It's the only way. Because think about it. Do you really think these 6 satanic fucks are going to come on the property and prop up mirrors so whatever's projected from an elevated position can bounce off the mirror and then be reflected in a horizontal line or a prism? Do you think they're going to go through all that when we're already notated to be enduring a crime that does put up emitters, transducers, antennas, and even Wi-Fi boxes and other types of electronics? Do you really believe for 1 second that they're not doing that when it's already heavily reported that they do it? Victims are finding it in their homes and around their homes. Okay? Because you got to think about this using physics and math. Why would they go through all that trouble to fucking prop up a mirror so when something gets projected from an elevated position, it bounces off the mirror and then perfectly goes in a horizontal line to interact with the victim, including when the victim's moving? Which also strongly suggested multiple emitters. And they were just acting as relays. You walk from one spot, you get zapped at that spot, you get up and you go sit at another spot, you get zapped at that spot. Strongly suggesting that you might be interrupting infrared beams, and so then that relays you to another and possible tracking of you. Okay, because trust me, there's a lot involved in this crime, and I know you don't understand all that concerning what I just said, but I have no doubt in my mind at all that these emitters were being used as a relay system. They track you, and so when you go from one spot to another, you're relayed to another emitter. Absolutely. Okay, because we're dealing with scientific shit here. So the only way to, when you got evidence, the only way to describe that evidence is by and through going back and taking that educated knowledge and saying, this is what was reported concerning what they do, and the physics and the math suggest, it suggests no other way. At least suggested, if not indisputably proving it. Because video evidence does not fucking lie. Video evidence doesn't lie. When you're seeing a blue electromagnetic wave that's got a little bit of white in it, coming from a horizontal plane, do you really believe that that horizontal plane can be created from something that's emitted from an angular, elevated position? How does it then become horizontal? So, As a result of what I caught on video on August 9th, 2022, the electromagnetic waves entering my fucking tent, caught on video. I mean, when you see this shit, and the photos from it on my Twitter account and in my blog, photos taken from the videos, because I had to take massive consecutive photos, because this shit was coming in and leaving so fucking fast. You see the waves moving inside the tent and on the walls of the tent, but it comes in and goes out so fast that you see it happening in real time. But to catch it concerning when you're catching it as it's moving, when you catch something moving by taking snap screenshots of it as the video is playing, then you're catching it and isolating it where it's caught at in real time when it's caught in a snap screenshot from the video, which then isolates where it's at in that moment in time when you catch it in the snap screenshot that you're taking from the video. And it literally shows these things interfacing with the tent and even branching off into two separate beams. One interfacing with my head and one interfacing with shielding that I put on the tent. The one that was caught on the 9th shows it literally indisputably interfacing with the tent, coming in the tent, and literally interfacing with my head. Literally. I know this sounds crazy, but literally, when you see the fucking photos. Okay? Alright, because I'm going to make additional videos bringing that video up and playing it in real time, and then showing you the photos as well, because I got two phones. One's in service contract, the other one ain't. Okay? So I can easily make a video from from the video camera on one phone, while playing the video in the other phone, and then showing you snap screenshots from it. Alright, so it indisputably proves it. People are retweeting it on Twitter and posting it in their tweets as well. Because this is massive fucking evidence. It's in real-time evidence. And at this time, it appears that they're not being stupid enough to fucking repeat it. Because they know it not only shows it interfacing with me directly, but it also shows my shielding. Okay, because when it was caught on the 11th, it was caught coming in from the same directions. Okay, actually it was caught from coming in from a different direction, a different wall on the tent. But that part of the walls had shielding on it. So when it interfaced with the shielding broke it up and it couldn't go nowhere. It shows it somewhat very, not faint, but you got to really look at it. It shows it trying to go through the shielding, but it being deflected from it. Okay, and the type of shielding that I'm referring to is this. It's got a metallic surface, and metallic deflects microwaves, okay, and electromagnetic weapon waves. It deflects it, absorbs it, deflects it. Okay, and so it shows in the video made on the 11th. It literally shows it coming in contact. It shows before it comes into contact with it. Okay, it shows it coming in contact with it, and then it shows how it wasn't able to get and come into the tent as a result of the shielding reflecting it. Okay, it's indisputable. I mean, this shit is moving. You can see that it's electricity. Because here's the last statement I'm going to make, and then I got to let you go. Excuse me. What you got to understand about the inductive rates of a phone, the inductive rate of the mechanisms of the camera app itself, it uses light. It also uses radio spectrum. Okay? Well, it's widely reported that a lot of their tech that they're using to interface with victims, and that includes some of the acoustic tech, runs within a very short, narrow radio spectrum. They're microwaves. Okay? And so it's heavily reported that the acoustic tech and the electromagnetic weapons are running and operating within a narrow band of the radio signal spectrum. Well, tape recorders and video apps and audio recorders on phones and cameras operate in a very narrow inductive rate that is extremely close to what they're using, which means the inductance and the frequency of the camera and how cameras work related to it interfacing with light and the light spectrum is what enabled them to be caught. And the fact that the shit was reflecting off the tent, because when you look at this tent wall, it's green and it's got some brown and black. Well, these are blue waves, okay? And then the lighting from the camera app and its radio signal and the lighting spectrum from the app is very close to the spectrum that they're using, which is what allowed it to be caught. Okay, so they've been caught twice on two separate dates in the same fucking area. And in fact, actually in the same spot. Now, I moved yesterday. I moved last night. Okay, and I've been non-stop heavily targeted ever since I fucking moved. Okay, Absolutely. They kept me up to 2:33 o'clock in the morning last night. I overslept, didn't wake up till 8. And then when I woke up this morning, I had to deal with trying to find a microcard for my tape recorder and a microcard for the fucking phone. Okay? And shielding myself from continuous attacks. Okay? So far from what I can tell, as a result of me intermittently looking at this phone, they haven't been caught so far in this particular video. And they're probably not going to allow me to catch them again. But I'm going to tell you something right now. The fucking second it got dark out last night, and I put a tarp on top of the tent during the night. So the tarp partially covers. It unless I pull it all the way down, it only usually covers about 75% of the wall of the door where the doors are at, and so the rest of it is partially. Where it's not covered at, it still allows me to see light coming in somewhat. Well, last night and on numerous other nights, I seen light beams, laser beams, and shit coming into my tent, including at this area last night, from multiple directions. Okay, some of them are faint, some of them have a more defined density to them, and some of them are laser pinholes size. Okay, absolutely. So thank God that I was allowed to acquire this evidence between the 9th and the 11th of August on video. That fucking video evidence is indisputable. It's completely indisputable. And one of them literally shows this shit making direct contact to my forehead. That area has already been widely exposed by me in photos and audio files showing me state I'm being hit in the very fucking spot that this electromagnetic weapon wave purposely came to and stopped and interfaced with. No exaggeration. Where do you see this shit? Because I'm going to be making some videos about the snap screenshots of the photos, okay, taken from the videos. Where do you see this shit? Okay, because I'm going to be able to detail it to you concerning what you're seeing, describing it and detailing it more, so you have so you can see the relevance of the details. All right, I'm going to let you go. Today's date is August 12th, 2022. When I leave here today, I'm going to pack up my shit in the bags that they're packed up in. Okay, and I'm going to hide it, take down the tent, fucking hide it. And then I gotta go up to Best Buy to get a fucking memory card because CBS, and I don't even think Bonds carries them. Their prices are almost triple to what you would get at Best Buy. Let's see if the ones at Best Buy are extremely expensive. Let's see if any fucking incident happens along my route. Now, you need to also know another thing, and then I'll literally let you go. I can indisputably prove I've been hit with this weaponry along my route because of what was caught on June 3rd, 2020. Okay, the evidence transpired from those attacks, which occurred at two different areas, a wooded area and Bonds. So I can indisputably prove that I was stating in hundreds of video files and audio files show me state, okay, that I'm also being hit with this shit in the same exact identical fucking way along my routes concerning where I'm being hit at, as well, that is identical to how I'm being hit at wooded areas. It's identical to a T, okay? So they're massively attacking me along my routes too, because when this crime made me homeless and I got tired of being endlessly sadistically tortured at wooded areas, I bought a new bike and some bike saddlebags and a couple racks for the bike, and so I could just fucking get up in the morning, pack my fucking shit, and leave wooded areas so I'm not targeted all fucking day long at wooded areas, especially when I'm in stationary positions, even if it's just for a fucking minute, literally, okay? So what they've been doing ever since I did that was making me so fucking sick at wooded areas. I don't feel well enough to leave, and targeting areas of my body that are dedicated to me lifting shit, pushing the bike up the hill, okay, carrying shit, in order to exasperate the effects that they were creating in the areas that is dedicated to in the areas of the body that's dedicated to these type of musculatory systems being used. Okay, the heart muscle, the chest muscle, the back muscle, the arm muscle, the torso muscle, okay, and so on, purposely hitting me at these areas so that it would it would extremely exasperate the already massively created effect. They were purposely hitting me at these areas. Okay, and I got directed proof, I got indisputable video and photo evidence of directed energy weapon burns on my back, okay, that's directly behind the area of where I was being hit at my chest. So it was going through the back and coming out the chest part. That video evidence and photos from them, okay, was acquired after I made hundreds of audio files showing me state I'm being hit in these areas. It's indisputable. Because think about what I'm saying. Two things. If a mentally ill person is imagining this type of shit, do you really think, and then talking about it, do you really think then when they acquire visual and video evidence and photo evidence showing physical effects of these attacks at these same exact fucking areas after you make the fucking statements in video files and audio files? There's no fucking way. I got tweets showing me stating I'm being hit in the head, throat, face, chest, okay, from 2019 and 18. And then I captured this fucking video evidence of this shit fucking entering my tent and literally hit me in the head. Plus, I got direct energy weapon burns marks on my body. Let me show you one of them right now, and then I'm gonna let you go because I got shit to do. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see it. This white mark that's on my neck. Okay, I gotta let you go because I just realized I'm going through the battery in my phone. Today's date is August 13th, 2022. It's Saturday. Have a good day, everybody.